Boxing King Media. Delighted to be joined by Alexis, KSI's coach. It's been an hour or so since the result. Before we talk about the result, I've got to speak to you about the amazing crowd and just initially how the fight was going at the beginning.
Yeah, I thought the crowd's fantastic. They always are with a KSI fight. The fight was going pretty much exactly how we expected it to. We just didn't want to let Tommy's jab get going, which was the plan. Keep good range on a bounce, and then just obviously he came really close to try and get the fight a bit scrappy himself, to try and land a shot. He wasn't using his front hand because he couldn't, because of the distance that we controlled it. JJ landed more right hands, cleaner. I thought definitely won rounds 1 and 2, got a point deduction, had a 10-8 in the second round, which one judge scored it 10-8, another judges didn't, which is mad weird.
What did they score it?
They had around an evens round, 9-9. They scored Tommy winning that round, which it couldn't have been because he was losing on a punch count. When you watch the fight back, or when you look at the punch count numbers, he was losing that round, and he got a point deduction. But even if he didn't do that, we still won the 6th or the 5th, whichever way you want to look at it, on some of the judges' scorecards. So even if it's mathematically impossible for us to lose the 6th rounder after winning 3 rounds with a point deduction. It doesn't make sense that you can lose that fight. The worst case would be a draw. If Tommy won 4, which he didn't, and we won 2 with a point deduction, it would still be 3-3. So it just doesn't really make sense, which is unfortunate for the kind of show and the consistency of it. It's annoying. I think they looked at the name Fury, which is a great fighting family name, and they looked at a YouTuber and they scored it like that. It was unfortunate because I don't think they scored the fight correctly, in my opinion.
Because obviously, on that viewpoint, because you would think as a neutral watching it, just
guys. An interview going on, man. Relax.
Just as a neutral watching it, thank you for that. Just as a neutral watching it, obviously this is KSI's show. He's a promoter. The PBA only do influences boxing. So as a neutral, I'd be thinking if they were going to favour anyone, they'd probably favour KSI. Would that be like a fair point?
Yeah, I mean, you box away in a traditional English boxing hall. You go to Liverpool against the Liverpudlian fighter, you lose. That's in a 4-rounder. That's kind of how it goes. We don't. We hope we're trying to get away from that in British boxing. We hope that our fighters from other countries come over and don't think they're going to get robbed. We want that to be fixed. I didn't think it was a fair result today. I actually, unfortunately, thought that they've robbed the fans of some great fighters, some great future fights by doing a silly scorecard like that. And I think the boys want to appeal it. I just find it is when like I said, you have to score the fight. On reflection, you have to score the fight for what it was. Even if you gave Tommy 4, which let's say you did, but I don't. But let's say you did, he still would have lost a point on the deduction. So it would have been 3. At worst case, it would have been a draw. So it's difficult to score it another way. But on that note, anyway, I thought JJ did a great job of getting rid of Tommy's jab. 9 fights of his, he's been winning fights by jabbing. Didn't land pretty much any jabs. I thought he was, unfortunately, a little bit dirty with the back of the head. That's the way it goes. A lot of holding from Tommy. I thought JJ could have boxed better. He normally does, but I think Tommy had a part to play in being a little low with his stance and ducking some of the right hands and going for clinches, and then he kind of forced that fight. So a lot scrappier than what we wanted, but at the same time, I feel that I thought we won the fight, and so did a lot of other people.
Well, I get you the bias side of it. You mean as in the fact that it was in Manchester, Tommy's from Manchester, and you guys are from London. Is that what you meant?
No, I also mean the Fury's got a great fighting name as well. It's the Furies. It's like, look, when you pitch someone like KSI against a Fury, you're like, well, I'm getting a YouTuber against a boxer. And you got boxing judges, they're like, well, we don't want the YouTuber winning because it undermines boxing. It doesn't, because KSI trains his arse off like a boxer, like a fighter, and he deserves the exact same respect that Tommy Tyson Fury, whoever has. He's a fighter, and just because he doesn't carry the second name, or because you think he's trying to do something other than box, or he's an influencer, he's not. Kid risked his life in the ring tonight. He's a fighter, and he deserves the respect of that. And he didn't deserve getting that dodgy result. It's unfortunate. The scorecards are a mess. I've got the scorecards on me. They're not good looking.
Well, I think as an outsider looking in, the fact that he went the distance with somebody who's been boxing a long time and he lost by a point, I think that shows, it's huge credit to KSI that he showed he could compete with a professional boxer.
Yeah, I don't think he competed with a 9-0 professional boxer. I think he beat him 100%. I really do. And it goes to show, and I'm not saying, look at all the pundits. Everyone had it wrong. Everyone thought he was going to get knocked out. Everyone thought he was going to be terrible. Everyone thought it was an outrageous fight. We would never put a kid in harm's way without him being able to defend himself and having standing a chance of winning that fight. That's not something we do as professionals. So for people to say that, it's uneducated, it's disrespectful. I feel that JJ really showed his merit, his grit. He's a true fighter, a true warrior. and he just got emotional. He was upset that he got robbed. And I'm upset for his fans, and I'm upset for him because they're all passionate people. And yeah, it's just unfortunate because these shows are amazing. You know, I work on boxing shows my whole life and MMA shows and this kind of influence show, which is this show's enormous. Like it's going to do well over 1 million buys. It's a crazy show to be involved in. It's unfortunate that there was a dodgy decision in it. It's just unfortunate.
And the obvious question, Alexis, is what kind of mood is KSI in and what's next for him? You know, any potential opponents out there? I think with Tommy, they're suggesting potential Logan Paul next.
Yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned, you know, we'll sit down with each other. Remember, he's a billionaire. He doesn't have to do any of this. Let's be honest. He boxes because he wants to box. Because you know, not you, the media, not you personally, don't think he can. So I guess he likes proving people wrong. But whatever he wants to do, you know, we're all happy with doing. You know, I'm happy to be part of his journey because he's a solid guy, and he legitimately gave his heart. He gives his heart and soul every day to the gym, and I just, you know, I'm super proud of that, and I'm privileged to be part of his journey. And whatever he wants to do, I'm good with. If he wants to rematch, we'll do it. It's just, like I said, it's difficult for him, I guess, to even now to get around the fact, well, if I rematch, what happens with another dodgy decision? You know, where's this going to end? In his eyes, it's like, you know, after a dodgy decision, you get that feeling of like the world's against me. I don't know. I think it was definitely dodgy, and it's unfortunate. But I think we sit down and we see what fights are exciting and what whets his appetite. I mean, obviously. Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious fight, but it's not us. We tried to make it before, and he didn't want to make it. So it's like, you know, when you flog a dead horse, and the guy's like, well, now I want, because I lost and you lost, now I want 80-20. And you're dividing up a lot of zeros there to the other way. It gets a kind of pissing competition. You know, I would love that fight, and so did JJ, and we signed the paperwork, and he didn't give it back. So where are we going to go with it now? You know what I mean? We're happy to do those kind of fights, but again, I think right now, the truth of the matter is, I think some people have got some answering to do with those scorecards, and rewatch your fight.
Let's see how it unfolds there. Alexis, as always, I appreciate your time, respect, and have a safe journey home.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.